Greetings, I'm Solidus-Skully, and welcome back to the Kingdom Hearts commentary. So, yeah, this is pretty much, yes, but you must be prepared for the journey ahead. It is dangerous. So here, have $500, a few potions, and, a middle finger. Well, they do give us an elixir, so I was gonna make a crude joke, but, I don't want to make it anymore, because it gave us an elixir. And elixirs are useful. And, speaking of useful things we're pretty much just getting a tutorial for how to get to the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine. Except I don't feel fine, I'm freezing my butt off. But yeah, we also get magic around here. Fire and I believe blizzard? Don't know why I went high-pitched there for a second, but I think it's just fire for the moment. Or blizzard as well. I cannot remember, even though it is on screen. Perhaps I am recording this in Castle Oblivion. And again, this is pretty much Jiminy Jillica's one role in Kingdom Hearts. I might have mentioned this in Chain of Memories, but, you know, Castle Oblivion. So again, this is the journal feature. This allows you to keep track of character stories, character biographies, characters' dress sizes, characters' penis sizes, characters' breast sizes. What the fuck is up with this commentary getting raunchy? Jesus Christ. But, then again, considering some scandals, who knows, maybe Jiminy Jillica's Jiminy isn't into that kind of thing. But again, you can press the triangle button, scan the model all around, and again, you can just take a look at the character model like that. Except for Mickey Mouse, who was mysteriously absent, because Disney didn't want their property squandered. My math is fucking failing me today. And I have no idea why. But again, you get little factoids. Again, it's not as much as I would have liked, but again, you do at least get a little bit on why these characters are the way that they are. And again, I guess to also further elaborate on the Final Fantasy characters, the reason why Squall is called Leon was because when his world fell to darkness and the Heartless and all that, he felt ashamed and cast away his old name. But again, I'm still going to be calling him Squall because, well, in terms of the realistic reason as to why they changed his name, I honestly have no idea. Like, was Squall too difficult for people to pronounce? I mean, in that case, why didn't they change Aerith's name? I mean, she was called Aerith in Final Fantasy VII, which from what I remember was like a translation error, so I don't know, why wasn't she called Emily? Why didn't they call Yuffie, I don't know, Julia or something like that? I don't know, like, I mean, if you're gonna simplify their names, just kind of go all the way with it, don't just stick with Squall. But yes, sadly, there is no Renoa in this universe, much to my sadness, although then again, in terms of Squall's design ethos, again, if you notice on his back, there are wings. In reference to Renoa, so is that meant to imply that Renoa died in Radiant Garden, or wherever these characters come from? Who knows, maybe she finally died and became the sorceress, and then is going to be controlling all seeds throughout time, and she'll be the final boss of Kingdom Hearts. I don't know. But again, in terms of other things that the journal also highlights, it's basically there to, you know, keep track of how many Trinities you've unlocked, how many Dalmatians you've done, minigames, and basically if you want to get 100% completion for the game and unlock the super duper sexy secret ending, well, you gotta do all that stuff. Except for one facet of the gameplay we'll be talking about next time. And these are of course some of the abilities you can set for Donald and Goofy. Of course you have AP, which is limiting the number of abilities you can use, so again if you have enough points to equip it, you can do so. If not, then you're gonna have to either wait for them to level up or get an AP boost. But again, that's all depending on whether or not you're willing to waste it on them. Again, this is really just sort of just exploring the menus, and again we get to the customize, which is basically allowing you to kind of specifically set your customized magic abilities towards a quick select menu. Not quite as good as I would have thought it would have been, because you don't really get to, I don't know. Like, I mean, the basic kind of spells you have is like, you know, fire, blizzard, thunder, and all that kind of stuff, but again, I kind of wish you could customize them a little bit more. Again, this is pretty much how you customize Donald and Goofy for what you want them to do. Again, offensive magic, defensive magic, HP items, MP items, whether or not you want them to suck you off. Again, you can set it to frequency, only in emergency when you got that build up, or if you just want them to do it constantly. Though then again, they probably could have just changed it to like, I don't know, constantly, intermediate, or only in emergency. I don't know, seems like a bit of weird terminology craze, but whatever. Again, this is pretty much what you want to do with, almost immediately, so that you can at least have Donald at least reasonably heal you, relative to when you're in trouble, because, again, a common Internet meme, or meme, or meme, as the kids call it, is that Donald doesn't heal you because he's a stingy bitch, and I think that's more of a thing on Proud Mode, where the damage really does end up dishing itself out to rather extreme measures, and Donald can't quite heal you in time because, well, he's a duck, and ducks don't have medical knowledge. But I mean, on a more of a serious note though, like, I mean, if you do know how to set the character behaviors, you know, relatively well, then you can pretty much kind of circumnavigate that issue, but then again, it's or depending on how you're willing to set the characters. These are Trinities, I've pointed them out before in the last part, but this is what you do with them. With Donald and Goofy in your party, and yes, it does have to be with Donald, Goofy, and Sora in the party. Yeah, you can activate Trinities, and they will basically teleport you around. You do a bunch of different contextual actions, and you get some goodies for your, friendship. Wish I could do that with 3 of my friends, but then again, that would imply that I have 3 friends. And I don't. Anymore. But, yeah, anyway, you can pretty much just talk to Squall, Yuffie, and Aerith around here, and they're just basically going, find the lost puppies because they are so cute. And, of course, having 2 people responsible for taking care of 99 dogs without, you know, proper care or aid or, you know, medical insurance is, of course, a lovely thing to befall on 2 people. Unless, of course, that means, like, Bungo and Pongo are pretty much raising them on their own, in which case, what kind of universe is this? I mean, we have anthropomorphic dogs like, you know, Goofy existing in this universe, but there seem to be ones that are just acting on animal instinct. How do they take care of the house? Why is their house clean? Oh my god. That's just so... I think I might have brought this up all the way back in the Sly Raccoon commentary, but, like, I mean, in a world where there's just normal animals, how do they have houses and facilities and... I don't know. I'm just thinking too hard. About the wrong things. If I was thinking about the right things, I wouldn't even be here doing commentary. I'd be off living importance in my life, and, well, I just made myself sad by thinking that, so, let's just heal up our magic and pay a visit to Sora's daddy. Yes, it is his daddy. Sid, give your son a cuddle, and by which I mean with a blowtorch or welding equipment. And again, that's basically what the accessory shop is for. You can just buy little trinkets and ability studs, which become a little bit more irrelevant later on, but they allow you to get more AP, which is ostensibly what these, you know... Again, they're basically just little bots you can get. I mainly recommend getting the ones with AP ups, because, again, you want to equip more abilities, and depending on what you want, if you want added defense against specific attacks, or elemental weaknesses, or anything like that, that's pretty much what you're meant to equip them for. But, again, the ones I mainly recommend getting are ones for defense, or ones for, you know, ability studs. Or at least some that increase your MP, or HP, or attack power, because that's generally what you want to be getting. And as for what the rest of this part's really going to be detailing, it's ostensibly just, well, a final victory lap around this part of Traverse Town to basically access a few of the areas that we didn't quite get to see beforehand. We can't access Red Trinities until specific points in the game. So, yeah, we can't do anything with that now, but we can only access Blue Trinities. So, again, get hunt for them postcards, we can explore a few areas now that we have fire on our side, and... Again, a bit of a short part, but it's just showing you what you can do if you're going for a bit of a wander around Traverse Town. And if you're wondering why I was pausing there, I kind of forgot whether or not I was recording or not, but I found out that I was, and I'm a dumbass. So, that's how things go around Solidus-Skully's patch. Now, another interesting thing to note is that when you defeat the boss of a specific area, again, if you're still in the world at the time, there will be no Heartless for you to fight, because the boss has been cleared out, and the rest of the smaller Heartless are scarped on elsewhere, so... Again, you'll pretty much have free reign to go around friendly Traverse Town. There's gonna be no people running about, which is a bit of a running problem with Kingdom Hearts up until... I'd say Kingdom Hearts 3, actually, which is kind of sad in a few ways, but whatever. And that was me, making one last attempt to get that secret special message, but I didn't, and I feel sad. And of course Sora, being a literal fucking child, aside from robbing this room, is going to jump on the bed, because we are children. I am reliving my childhood, which has now been lost, to the Heartless, and the Destiny Islands, which has been swallowed by darkness. And now, for whatever bizarre reason, we can obtain that treasure chest. And we got an elixir for our troubles. Lovely chubblies. Anyway, putting aside random noises and British turns of phrase, we can just kind of go through this little area down here. Actually, no, I don't think we can, because we require a Red Trinity for that, so... again, you basically, at this point, you want to make your way down to the 3rd district and, well, gain access to a special area. Although, then again, you don't really get to do anything with it, but there is, a bit more of a returning, quest thing going on. Because it's got to do with Disney magic. Sparkly, wackly, darkly. And again, I might have mentioned it before, but yeah, that's, Lady and the Tramp right behind there. I didn't actually notice that until, many years later, but, yeah. You actually get to see it a little bit more closely in Dream Drop distance, but, yeah, it's been there since Kingdom Hearts 1, and, nice point of reference. I believe initially, and again this is also to do with a bit of Kingdom Hearts trivia, that instead of like shooting a laser up to lock doors or whatever, initially Sora was going to shove his key in that, and that's basically how he locks the world, by literally using the Keyblade as a Keyblade. And obviously, you don't shoot it with fire, you shoot it with lightning, because fire does not generate electricity. And again, I suppose to talk more about Trinities, again, I mentioned before that you do get them at specific points during the game, and to kind of detail how I'm going to be handling this, I'm basically going to be saving most of the Trinities for endgame kind of stuff. There are a few that are mandatory, but again, like I'm going to be saving them all towards the cleanup video at the end. Which is similarly what I'm going to be doing with a lot of the synthesis stuff and a bunch of extra stuff. I want to keep this playthrough as concise as I can because it's going to be a very beefy long one, but yeah. Also, don't take that beefy long one out of context. Jesus. But anyway, we find this mysterious empty house and a treasure chest that we can't get and a Trinity that we can't get. Oh, the returning fun that we're going to be having here. Instead, let's make a new life inside this cold, desolate house.
There's something about this musty place. It reminds me of the secret place back home, where we used to scribble on the walls. Remember? Kyrie?
Sora?
Oh man, it was all a dream. And, considering what's going on, I mean, I know the reason why Sora's having these visions, but, yeah. Might be a result of eating those mushrooms in the Destiny Island caves, and if I can just make one point about Kingdom Hearts right now, if the entire series turns out either to be a dream Sora's having and he wakes up back on Destiny Islands like we saw in Part 2, or it ends up being like some sort of pre-death hallucination, Tetsuya Nomura, I'm going to kill you, and then I'm going to have you. But anyway, on to more relevant things, this is Merlin, from Sword and Stone, a movie which I have seen once before, but only once. And I don't even think I watched it all the way through. I think I just sort of... I don't really remember, actually. I know for a fact that I've seen it, but once. Also, when he... yeah. Now Merlin's made a house for himself. It's so nice and beautiful, and... well, again, this is pretty much going to be a long-term, quest thingy. Because, I mean, you're going to be collecting magic arts, which I believe I mentioned in Part 1 as well. And again, you show them to Merlin, and he basically gives you the Dream Shield, which is what you saw all the way back in, I believe, yeah, Part 1. It was the shield we picked up right at the beginning of the game. And you'll get that for Goofy, because we have the Keyblade, and therefore have no need of protection. And then, of course, we have the Fairy Godmother, who will, get Thor nice and ready for the ball, make him look like a handsome prince. But again, her role is, well, her role is kind of twofold. She activates summon gems for you, and of course, as Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory has told us, she also has access to the realm between life and death. Yes, indeed, out of all the characters in Kingdom Hearts to be important, the fucking Fairy Godmother is someone of great importance who has access to Purgatory. What am I talking about? Well, you'll probably find out in about like 5 or 6 years if I ever cover Melody of Memory. Presumably. But there is also a bit more of a long-term quest involving a secret otherworld that you'll be tackling whenever you get down to Merlin's room regarding a specific book, but we'll get to that when I'm very, very drunk. Again, you can basically use Merlin at this point just to practice magic, where you can basically cast all the spells to your heart's desire without using up any MP, so that's pretty much all you really get to use at that point. But with all that said, that's pretty much all we have to see of Traverse Town at this point. Again, as we get more abilities and we have the means of accessing postcards and have something to report to the Traverse Town crew of Squall, fuck, I'm betraying my own creed already, and Aerith, Yuffie, it's probably a childhood bully nickname, which influenced her to become a ninja and kick people's asses and make them bleed. Yeah. We're pretty much done here at this point. Let's just talk to the Moogle, and I want to touch his pom-pom. I always wondered what it felt like. It probably felt very soft, and it was probably very painful for the Moogle, but whatever, causing pain is what I do best. Because pain without love can get enough. Gotta feel pain than nothing at all. Why is it that I can remember songs from nearly 20 years ago? God. I listened to too much post-grunge, and now I'm just out of it. What are you looking at, fat, jovial man? Fucking... whatever. Let's pay one last visit to Sora's daddy. Daddy Highwind, I come home. I must sell to you my stock of excess stuff. I do not sell you synthesis. I need that Daddy Highwind. Why am I turning Sora into a Frenchman? I have no idea. Maybe that's the accent he had to adopt, cause Daddy Highwind loved his French accent. It reminds him that he is classier as an American. I have no idea what the fuck accent I'm going for anymore, so on that note, I am Solidus-Skully, keep it new metal, and next time on the Kingdom Hearts commentary, we're gonna be blowing this berg and going to a whole nother world. What will it be? Find out next time. Catch you later.